Hello guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today, I've got something that I'm pretty excited for. As we all know, we love our Jurassic World Evolution, all our mod spotlights and all that. Who doesn't love it? And we have just got announced today, we have got Jurassic World Evolution 2. So we've apparently gotten some whole new game, some improvements. We're going to go through and have a look. And what we're going to start with is we're going to go through the trailer, to watch the trailer, then go through the trailer, then read some of the synopsis and stuff from Steam, and then look at different pictures and stuff and see what we can gather from that. So let's get a look into it.
We ignored all the warnings. Forgot the lessons. We abused our power. We played with genetics like it was a toy. We weren't careful. And now, here we are. This is a very different world.
Now, wasn't that cool? Lots of T stuff for World Evolved coming 2021, so I believe it's coming like late 2021, so winter or something. I was actually genuinely expecting it to come with the release of Jurassic World Dominion about like 2022. I think June 2022 is that when it was going to come out, but I thought that would be better to time the release, but it looks like we're getting a bit early, and I'm definitely not complaining at that. So what we're going to do is have a look through. So we're going to go through. I might just mute it. We'll just be quiet. So we can see that's it's running on there.
We ignored all the warnings.
So we can see we've got some new dinosaurs here. We've got Stegosaurus, we've got the Triceratops, and if we look right here, we've got an AMARGASAURUS. We'll have a look at this. I believe there's already pictures of them, so we're gonna have a look at that. I really like the design of this Jeep. That looks cool. And like seeing the new environments.
We abused our power.
So we're going to see we already went from the desert. Now we've got like this boreal forest. It looks like somewhere in like the North USA or even Canada, something like that. Pretty cool. And let's go back here. We can see some updates to the buildings. Looks like this is like a ranger station or fossil, and we can see generator here. It's like a ranger station here, or a court. And we can see this aviary that looks like it's apparently been broken through. It's very much more the Jurassic World style than the Jurassic Park style one from Return to Jurassic Park.
We played with genetics like it was a toy.
And we can see that this is much more reminiscent as well of the Jurassic World design Pteranodon than the Jurassic Park one. And we can see these wonderful brachiosaurs. It's a very reminiscent shot. Reminds me of like the shots from Jurassic Fallen Kingdom and that with the brachiosaurs. Like, should we save them in that? And I think it's a really cool shot. Nothing wrong with seeing good brachiosaurs in the trees.
We weren't careful. And now, here we are.
So we've got a NASUTOCERATOPS, which was of course a free download in the original Jurassic World Evolution, and we can see this really cool vehicle, like a mobile veterinary unit. I think that's pretty cool. It looks like they got like the park service logo on there as well. We've got this little animal running. We'll confirm what it is later.
This is a very different world.
Oh. So cool. Then we get the shot. This is a cool shot. Little dinosaur, and then we got the big Rex that everyone knows and loves. So cool. And I love this like design. I like this reinvented sort of logo. And we got to see all its environments. And then we see the Mosasaur. Ooh. Dangerous. A World Evolved coming 2021. Okay. So what we're going to do is now look at the synopsis. So, let's have a look at Jurassic World 2. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is a much anticipated sequel to Frontier's highly successful Jurassic World Evolution, building upon the groundbreaking and immersive 2018 management simulator. It introduces a compelling new narrative, incredible new features, and awe-inspiring new dinosaurs that brought to life with captivating authenticity. Together with expanded construction and more customizable options, the result is even bigger, better, and authentic Jurassic World game. So, yeah, this is pretty much what everyone's been hoping for. So we can see the features. So, an original Jurassic story. So, immerse yourself in a compelling and original Jurassic World narrative set after the earth-shattering events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Lead efforts to control, conserve, and contain dinosaurs as you work alongside iconic characters from the films, such as Ian Malcolm and Claire Dearing, both played by Jeff Goldblum and Bryce Dallas Howard. So that's pretty cool. We already see, like, if we compare the famous people that we've got from Jurassic World, obviously Jeff Goldblum was kind of like the main one. We got the Claire Dearing DLC, which was pretty fun. And then we also got everyone else, like Sam Neill and all that, and we got them for the Jurassic World, the Return to Jurassic Park DLC, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. So, create your own Jurassic World. So this is a big thing everyone was talking about. Everyone was like, we need to like be able to create more, because creating stuff was pretty minimal in Jurassic World Evolution. It's kind of you put down your fence, you put down some water, put down trees, and that's pretty much about it. There wasn't really much to making cool enclosures, and pretty much all enclosures kind of looked the same. And I really didn't like that Jurassic World aesthetic much of the big concrete walls and stuff. I personally didn't like that, but it looks like we're going to have more options here. So take control with deeper management tools and creative options. Construct and customize new buildings and flex your managerial muscle among never before seen locations, ranging from dense forests to rocky deserts. So I think that's really cool, because if we all remember, of course, the first Jurassic World Evolution was mainly just set on the tropical islands of the Five Deaths. So I think really expanding into different habitats and biomes would be really cool, and probably open up a lot of options for management, such you can have dinosaurs in like tropical, not just tropical, but you can have them in deserts, you can have them in savannas, you can have them in these taiga forests, you could even have them in a tundra. Really just having these sort of habitats available, almost like Planet Zoo style, I think is going to be really cool. And seeing how like things like temperature and like other management, because if you like look at Planet Zoo, or use Planet Zoo for example, you see that you have all these different things like the requirements for sand, snow, da-da-da-da-da-da. I think that'd be really cool to work in for the dinosaurs. Maybe not to that extent, but something sort of like that, just to add more management to the animals. I think that's going to be really cool. So, rescue and bioengineer more than 75 prehistoric species, including highly requested flying and marine reptiles, and watch them seek territory, fight, and interact with staggering realism. So, we're going to have a huge roster. So, if you guys remember, I think the first we had about, I think it was 40 something, like 46 or something at launch. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but you guys will probably know. At the launch of Jurassic World Evolution. So now we're going to have something more than 75. So that'll be something comparable to Planet Zoo at launch. So that's pretty interesting. And what's also been requested a lot is the flying and marine reptiles. So that is going to be awesome. So I imagine that we already got that tease of that with Return to Jurassic Park, and with the Pteranodon and the Avery. So I think That's awesome. And then I'm really excited to see how they do marine reptiles. If they're just going to do like mosasaurs or they're going to expand it into other animals and designs, I think that's going to be really cool. And seeing if we can like build our own sort of habitats, or they're going to be something more like the aviary, of course, that's pre-made. Or even if we just add different styles, because I personally really like the style of the Jurassic Park aviary. So it'd be really cool to choose sort of the styles we have. We could have like a Jurassic Park style, a Jurassic World style, maybe its own more unique style, depending on maybe even future parks or just architecture more similar to stuff that we see in Dominion, for example. Just something to add more variety and change. And seeing a lot of these updates for the animals as well, because I remember seeing leaks saying the animals might swim and things like that, just adding a lot more behavior and more dynamic to them, make them feel like real animals. Just like, honestly, just rip the Planet Zoo animals and make them dinosaurs, and I think you have the basis for something pretty cool. So that's awesome. And here's another interesting one. Play with chaos theory. So chaos theory mode lets you play through key moments in your favorite films with a twist. Experience what-if scenarios from the iconic Jurassic World and Jurassic Park films, which each level set among eras and locations from all across the 5 movies. Immerse yourself at the heart of Jurassic World franchise and see how things turn out if you put a helm in management, managing new challenges with unpredictable outcomes. So that seems something that's pretty cool. I really like the idea of playing into that nostalgia as well, because you've really got, with this game, you've got a whole franchise that you can go through and add and look at these wonderful moments. So I think that's just something that's pretty cool to, as something that sounds interesting to me, so we can go and like play and revisit moments as part of like maybe the campaign or just like maps, and maybe even try and recreate different things. I just think there's a lot of potential with that, because obviously a game like this is a lot of nostalgia, because a lot of us love the Jurassic Park franchise. So I think that's going to be really cool to explore, and I'm really excited to see what that means, because that's pretty vague what they said there. So I'm pretty excited to see what they really do mean in terms of that. So yeah, we can have a look at the website here. It just pretty much just covers the same thing that you said here. But if you want to go have a look, of course. And we're going to have a look through the gallery from both the Steam page and the site here. So we're starting off with one of the coolest animals in the game. We've got the Brachiosaurus, kind of the big boy of the franchise, one of the heavy hitters. And I just love this like look. I love seeing them in like with conifers and the redwood in the corner there. That just looks so cool. Probably more accurate to their real life habitat, like the Morrison Formation, with these conifers rather than the tropical rainforest with the in the 5 Deaths. So they kind of feel almost like at home, because you had redwoods in the Jurassic and such. But one thing I think that's really cool when you've noticed is that you can see that these 3 individuals kind of all have slightly different colors. And what that makes me think is that the color variations, if you guys remember in Planet Zoo, there was an update that added color variations within the animals. And that really helped a lot with like adding distinctness to animals and such. So I thought that was really, really cool. Now, I think that has a lot of potential for Jurassic World Evolution 2, just because you have a set amount of skins, but then you also have the variations, like different hues and variations within those skins. I think this adds just lots and lots and lots of new options. Like, really, imagine if you could have 6... Imagine if we had like the same standard 6 skins, and then you had a bunch of variations for each skin. So like really almost every animal you breed or rescue, which seems to be a mechanic in this game, is going to be unique. So I think that's just so awesome. So we can see, because this one seems to be this could also be lighting, but we can see this one's got like a lighter dark greenish pattern, and then we can see this one's like a lot more grayish, a lot more darker. And this one kind of seems like your average normal Brachiosaurus from the first game. Seems like just basic, and I just love it. I love the details as well. They really nailed the details a lot. I can see a lot more details of the neck and such. I'm really happy that they improved, because a lot of the dinosaurs for Jurassic World Evolution, especially from the imported from the models, they just look really flat. There's not much texture to them. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm really excited to see if that makes it into the game. I'm also just really excited to see how much like the first Jurassic World Evolution and Planet Zoo will feed into this, and how even Jurassic World Evolution will feed into games further on. I think that's just really, really cool. Now we have another sauropod. We've got AMARGASAURUS, and it obviously looks very similar to Nigersaurus, but look at this guy. I love the spiky look of him. I think these little spikes here are quite cool. Not the most accurate, of course, if you want me to go through it. We see he's got very fat feet when your sauropods have like very small or pillar legs with like, these really horseshoe-shaped feet. And really only the dew claw, if that, should be hanging out. Tail's probably a bit short. Definitely a bit short, actually. These are way too thick. But I think as a design, I'm not really going to critique Jurassic World Evolution on its accuracy anymore. It's kind of, even Jurassic World as a franchise, they really just take one step forward, two steps back, so it's not really something I'm too worried about. But I really do like this design of the AMARGASAURUS. I think I love the detail of the scales. I think that looks so much better than Jurassic World Evolution compared. It's not quite as flat. But we can also see this is a much different environment than the Brachiosaurus screenshot. We can see we've got this desert set up, we've got cactuses, we've got Joshua trees, we've got this like dry grasses. And I think that's going to be really cool to add, to have different habitats for different animals and stuff. Let's just close that. So, yeah, I think that's awesome. I really love these spikes. You can see the keratin, and you can see the neck as well. Really cool. I'm really excited to have a look at the other architecture as well. So we've also got the next animal. So this was, of course, if you guys remember, this was released with Battle of Big Rock in the original game. We got NASUTOCERATOPS. So it doesn't really look too different. Just looks like some slight updates to the texture, really, and some new skins. So I imagine there's going to be a lot more variations within the skins. I'm really excited to see how they show that off. And yeah, and we can see this is the same sort of habitat as the Brachiosaurus image. We can see all the different conifers and things like that. It looks pretty nice. I like. And this is more similar to the AMARGASAURUS as well. We can kind of see these two habitats, or two biomes, really happening. But I suspect there's going to be a lot more, which I'm really excited for. We can see some more cactuses and Joshua trees again. More cactus here. I really like to see this water. That water looks quite nice. I assume these are mostly in-game screenshots. And we've got our Stegosaurus. So I can see it's already improved a lot from the one in Jurassic World. We can see the scales and stuff are much more prominent. It just looks much better textured. And we can see also the tail's not dragging crazily. Just looks a lot better. I think it just looks a lot more detailed. It's like the main thing I can see different. It's just the details stick out a lot more. And I think it looks awesome. And now we're moving on to the next one. So this looks like an overview of a nice park. We can see some of the changes. You can see this looks like an aviary. I assume this is an aviary. And we can see a couple new enclosures. Looks like some cool new viewing events. It'd be cool if like we had a theme for each map or each biome. I'll be excited to see what variations we get. I'm not expecting that, but I think it's all pretty cool. And we can see these wonderful mountains, snow-capped mountains. Really just opens up a lot for Jurassic World. And we can see new skin for the helicopter. It's like almost very, what do you call it? It just looks so different. I love the yellow stripe and that. I think it's just a cool design. Cool to have different skins and such. And we can see the different changes here. It doesn't look too different, but I still think it's cool. Maybe just updates on textures mainly. I'm not sure what this new building is. Seems like it's meant to be an entrance. But I think we'll just have to wait and see. We can see some more management views over here. Nothing too drastically different. And that seems to be like a gyrosphere thing or something. So I'm excited to see what comes up. And now we've got COELOPHYSIS. So this is a completely new dinosaur as well. And look at these. It looks like we've got some really cool trees with horsetails. We might have some extinct trees. So I think that could be a cool mechanic. Bringing back extinct plants and stuff to put in your paddocks. It's kind of like in JPOG. That could be cool. But we can see the COELOPHYSIS. Looks like they're having a good time in the group. I think they look really nice on the conifers and such. Running through the grass. At least it's not like the Compy was way too small. COELOPHYSIS is decently big. But I think these guys look pretty cool. Not accurate, of course, but I think they don't look too bad. We can have a better look at them here. Obviously, the hand's pronated and proportions are probably not one-to-one, but I think the detail in itself, the level of detail, I think, is just improved so much. You can see the individual scales and cool to see wrinkles and such. Definitely pretty good. And I like the new water as well. I'm excited to see more of this. I really am. And we can also see just the same. This is the same sort of boreal sort of. They're really showing this off because I think this is probably going to be their most developed biome or something. I think this just looks really cool. Excited to see more. And now we have just another view. We can see these beautiful snow-capped mountains. And then we have this other one. So look, you can even see these are already kind of different. We can see some dinosaurs, and here it looks like some Triceratops. And another helipad. Different skin as well. I wonder if this will be kind of like revisiting the moments. Maybe have things like this. I think that just looks quite cool. Even then, you can also see differences. So I wonder if we're going to get different styles and stuff. So I think that'd be awesome. And we got Pteranodon. So we can see here, this is the Avery by the looks of it. It seems much different in style to the Return to Jurassic Park Avery. It's got more glass over it, and rather than the bars. And I prefer the other style, but this is definitely not too bad. And in the same vein, we've got more Jurassic World style Pteranodon, which personally I was never a fan of. But I hope they open the door for also having the Jurassic Park Pteranodons, because I really like the design. And we can see just the plants fit in here much better. I wonder if we're going to see logs and such, of course. Just more, looks like there's just more things to place, so I think that's really cool. And really cool to see different habitats as well. I just like the idea of building parks around the world. So yeah, that's not too bad. And then we can have another look. We can already see the different style here. I wonder if we'll be moving different styles. I wonder if these will be customizable. That'll be cool if we can customize the colors. That would be really cool. Because these colors seem like almost you just pick them yourselves. So just adding more customizable aesthetics to them, I think would be really cool. And we can see the people here. Clearly having a good time. They haven't changed too much. And I just love that backdrop. You can see the Avery here and the Innovation Center here and just the beautiful mountains. That's just going to be built for so many beautiful screenshots. And look like we've got a Triceratops. Look at these wonderful plants. These look like some mosses and stuff. We can see the same sort of plants. Looks like a gyrosphere opening. And look, got some red going down here. I wonder if we'll be able to change the colors and such. And I'm not sure what's going on here. I think that's also a hatchery. I think it's kind of weird though. I've noticed that the hatchery has like tropical plants, while it's like a taiga boreal forest. It kind of like a weird juxtaposition. So maybe if we could change the different like aesthetics of it, like maybe choose the different forests and stuff, I think that could be pretty cool. And yeah, you can already see some of the improvements that they've made. You can see there's just much better detail. And look at the frills there. You can see the different scales on the frill. Just looks generally a lot better in terms of texture. Because honestly, the Jurassic World dinosaurs from the first game look really flat. Now we can see another view of the Triceratops. Looks like we've got some new skins going on. You can see almost like this cool patterning on the horns and the red on the frill and greenish. It's nice for what it is. I think it looks alright. It doesn't look too bad. Really cool to see that they're actually kind of innovating a lot. Be cool to see how this is expanded, because the biggest thing about the game was kind of having to choose different skins and such, and I just think that's pretty cool. And I didn't really use it, but I think it's just cool to add the variation. But then you have the Planet Zoo type variation within the skins that would really make for some really unique animals, I think. And yeah, it's really cool that they're still innovating with the skins and trying to really give us a nice product. Seeing these remind me of those parasitic worms that like crawl into snails and like crawl through their eye stalks and like flash, try to get a bird to eat them. That's what this reminds me of, because you can see the patterns and stuff. I think that's really cool. Kind of interesting inspiration. That's what it reminds me of, though. So yeah, definitely not too bad. And look at this Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now that's cool. So we can see a lot of people have been praising this online. They've been saying this is the only one that looks like the maquette from Stan Winston. But yeah, I love it. We can see that it's kind of got the look of the Jurassic World kind of Tyrannosaurus, but you can see it's also just much more detailed, a lot less flat. It just looks so much better. Look at the detail of the face here and the scales and such. It's like they almost combined the Return to Jurassic Park one, which had such nice textures. They combine them together and make something wonderful. And we can see that it's glowing through the gate and doesn't really look too different in terms of the gates and stuff. It just looks updated textures and such. But it's really cool to see it in such different environments. So yeah, I'm actually pretty hyped for this. I am excited to see what they do with this. Like, I'm not overly hyped because we already kind of know what to expect since the Jurassic World. But I'm excited to see what they've changed and excited to see what they have listened to by the people and really improve this, make a good experience for us. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and of course I'll be following the news and such, and there's already a dozen other YouTubers that will, so if you guys always want to make sure that you guys click the notification bell at the bottom if you guys want to make sure that you get notified when I upload anything. So I do really hope you guys enjoyed this little video and have a look through, and I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.